Welcome to Aperture and Shutter Speed, the photography radio show where you can learn and share your love for photography. It's 12 o'clock on March 8th. This is the second Tuesday of the month, and we are the second and fourth Tuesday every month at 12 o'clock. I am your host, Chelsea Williams. I'm a professional portrait photographer in Conroe. If you have any questions or comments during the show, you can call in 936-647-3776. You can also comment on Aperture and Shutter Speed's Facebook page. So, we've got a great show today. I have in studio Doug Sweet from the Humble Camera Center. Hi, Doug.
Hi. Thanks for having me, guys.
Well, thank you for coming out. I learned about Humble Camera Center and met you through Allison, who was on our show in the fall. And she's with the Woodlands Photography Club.
Yes.
So I'm guessing you're involved in that in some way. We'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Well, we're talking about the Woodlands Photography Club on March 14th at 6:45. They have a club meeting. You can check that out, woodlandsphoto.org. They're also doing a joint field trip with the Woodlands Camera Club to Bayou Bend on March 19th. So I guess if you've tried one of the clubs or both the clubs, you can get in on that. The other things the Woodlands Camera Club is doing is on March 9th, they're doing a night photography workshop. On the 13th, they're doing Fine Art of Seeing, which is their special interest group from 2 to 4. The 17th is Learning to Shoot, 7 to 9. And the 21st is Processing Your Photos. And I know the special interest groups have like a different theme each time, so you definitely want to go more than once. And if you've never been, check it out. You can go to woodlandscameraclub.org to find out all the information about that. And also the TPPA is doing Texas 10 right now. The one closest to us is on March 21st, and it's Robin Jansen, and it's Intro to Volume Photography. So if you want to learn how to shoot school pictures, soccer pictures, anything like that, you might want to check that out, and you can go to tppa.org. Also, today after the show at the Conroe Art League, Ed Gorman will be there 2:30 to 6:30 to help you out with your camera if you have any problems with that. Okay, so here's the question I always get to is, what kind of pictures have you been taking lately? And if you're listening, you can post pictures online, or you can comment on our Facebook page and tell us. I'll ask you first, Doug.
Lately, I've been venturing back into street photography. I do a lot of model portfolio work and beauty work and editorial work, but I've gotten bitten by the street photography bug again. So, I mean, a lot of times it's just been me and my iPhone, and if I just see something, I take a picture of it and post it later on, or toss it if it's not good later. But street photography a lot lately. Yeah.
I've looked over kind of your website and some of your Facebook pictures and kind of looked over some stuff you're doing lately. And it's really neat. It reminds me of some, of course, I'm not good with names, so I don't remember people's names. But, in college when they were talking about a lot of editorial photographers, way back when, it kind of reminds me of stuff like that.
Yeah. And I love analog, but we live in a digital world, so I took the time to learn how to make my photos look like film, and I did that by taking an old photo and then just trying to get it just right in Photoshop. And once I pretty much nailed that, then I kind of like that look, that retro, what they call retro now. Right.
And you said that you take these pictures with your cell phone, right? I mean, obviously you're a photographer, you do other pictures, but right. You do a lot of stuff with your cell phone. Last week I kind of had this revelation in cell phones because I for me, I take my amazing pictures with my camera, and then I take pictures of my kids, right, my snapshots with my cell phone. I intentionally got the iPhone 6 Plus so I could take good cell phone pictures.
Right.
I was at my mom's group at the Woodlands church called Moments, and there was a speaker, this last one, Lindsay Miller, who she was a professional portrait photographer before she became a full-time mom of 4. And she came to speak, and she was really giving a religious message of, life's not always picture perfect. But she gave some good tips for taking pictures with cell phones.
Right.
And I knew that if you didn't like the exposure on a picture, you could click around till you, find exposed for, the darker areas or something. What I didn't know is that when she showed that you could slide your finger up and down to change the exposure. And I was like, how did I not know this? I was completely really? I've been living without this all this time?
There's that. There's the exposure lock you can do by just holding the screen.
Yeah.
And it'll lock your exposure no matter what you're doing, especially if you're doing a time lapse.
Yeah.
I've done that a few times where, it starts off nice and light and then all of a sudden it gets dark and I was like, what happened? Well, just do the exposure lock and it's perfect.
That's, to me, I'm like, how did I live without this information before? And it just completely blew my mind.
Cell phones are not for just phone calls anymore.
Yeah. So that's what I've been doing since then, is taking all these pictures of my kids, and I'm sitting there playing with the exposure, up and down, and let's do this. And of course, my son, he doesn't even notice me because he's so small, and my daughter's just like, stop, please stop. Whatever you're doing. Anyway, so I really thought that was great, and I think I maybe freaked Lindsay out a little bit because she was a really good speaker. And so after, everything was over, I kind of went up to her and said, hey, Lindsay, I really liked your tips. I liked what you had to say. And, I have this radio show. Do you want to come on the radio show and talk about cell phone pictures? And maybe that was a little much. Because I think she took a step back maybe and was like, oh, that's nice.
Thank you, but okay.
Yeah, so I'm not giving up hope because I did think she was a really good speaker, so maybe she'll come on our show eventually, but right. I'm trying not to be too abrasive.
That might help.
I'm working on my tactics. But I'm glad you're here to fill me in on all the stuff I've been missing out.
Yeah, it's I mean, the cell phone, when you start downloading apps and stuff like that, the one I really stuck on is Camera Plus. Because you can actually change your depth of field, just like you're shooting with a DSLR.
Really?
Yeah. It's amazing. That, and I love Hipstamatic because of the filters, of course, and how it looks. Everything looks retro, and you can change lenses, and change film cartridges or whatever you want to do. And then my other go-to is one called Polar. It's basically like a little Photoshop for your phone. Mm-hmm. You have your curves adjustments. You have all the tools in Photoshop you have in that app.
That's awesome because I have never really gotten into photo apps because so much of them are filters. So I'm not really a filter person, but there's a lot of other really cool stuff. She was showing an app that was pretty much a clone tool for your phone, and I'm like, that's amazing. I need that.
Well, even the Adobe suite of apps, their apps are amazing. I have all of them. I actually have a folder on my phone just for Adobe apps.
Really?
Yeah,
I know. Bad. I'm sounding, a little bit ignorant on the cell phone thing, but that's why I like doing this show, so people can.
Yeah, I was up one night playing with my phone, editing pictures, and I realized how bad I am because I now have a workflow for my phone. So that's pretty bad. I have it bad.
That's hysterical. And also you showed me before the show your lens that you put on your cell phone.
Yeah. My mother got me that. It's I don't know exactly how to say it, but it looks like it says stylus, but with a Z. Zitless or whatever, and you just pop it on the back of your phone, and it has basically about 6 lenses. You got, like I showed you, the circular polarizer, wide, and macro lens, and then you have a fisheye lens, and that either stays on my phone or stays in my pocket. It's always with me.
That's cool. I like it. And I've seen other lenses that you can put on phones, but it's all one lens that you screw on.
Right.
And I've never been too crazy about those, or even I've seen some that look really cheap, honestly, that just kind of clip on over the top.
Yeah.
But this one, you have all these different ones, and
it's in a nice little case, and
yeah,
it's all together. Just kind of turn, and it's like multiple choice of lenses.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do too.
I'm learning so much already. If you want to stick with us, we're going to take a break, and then I actually have other questions for you other than cell phones.
Okay.
We'll be right back on Aperture and Shutter Speed.
Are you interested in learning more about preparing quick, healthy, and safe meals for your family? Would you like to spend time with others learning tips and tricks, along with practicing and tasting nutritious food? If so, the On the Road to Healthy Living Mobile Cooking School is for you. Call Amy Ressler at Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service at 936-539-7825 to find a class near you or volunteer to host a class.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. Through our Operation School Bell program, we have provided new clothes to over 50,000 students in our county. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
The Texas A&M AgriLife Extension Service has been dedicated to educating Texans for over a century. In 1915, the Extension Program was established under the federal Smith-Lever Act to deliver university knowledge and agricultural research findings directly to the people. Ever since, AgriLife Extension programs have addressed the emerging issues of the day, serving diverse populations across the state. Texans turn to Extension for solutions in horticulture, agriculture, 4-H and youth, and family and consumer sciences. Extension agents respond not only with answers, but also with resources and services that result in significant returns on investment to boost the economy. Join us Fridays at 1 o'clock for the AgriLife Extension Hour.
Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Welcome back to Aperture and Shutter Speed. I'm Chelsea Williams, and I'm here with Doug Sweet. He is a local photographer and does editorial work on top of many other things. And he also works for the Humble Camera Center. So before the break, we were talking about cell phone pictures. I'll let that go for the time being, and we can be a little more serious, maybe, I guess. Do you want to give us your background on how you started in photography and how you got where you are now?
I think I started off kind of like most people start off. You pick up a camera one day and start taking some pictures, and someone goes, "Oh, that's nice," and you kind of just like, okay, whatever. And then somebody ended up buying some prints once. They wanted some prints of something. I was like, really, that? Okay. And maybe I have something here. Maybe I should really start digging into this. And that's kind of how I got to where I am now. I would ask different people here and there questions, and they would turn me down and stuff like that. But then I ended up, there's a guy in Dallas named Ted Forbes. You may have heard of him. He runs the Art of Photography. Mm-hmm. And I just started emailing him questions, and he would just answer me, no strings attached, nothing like that. Hey, what do you think of this? Oh, you should try doing this, that, and the other. And then he helped me a lot. And I just kind of, from there, dug in and dug around and did like everybody else, YouTube, and asking people in books and reading and picking up the camera and just trying it.
Right. Well, I honestly love that. I've had moments like that in the past too, where you email professionals or talk to them, and I always have so much more respect for the ones that will just give you honest answers, and they're not trying to like be closed off or they're too good for you. The people that can just like help you out, no problem. I'd love that, and I think it speaks volumes of their character.
I mean, it was I did a little bit of graphic design before, and so I was always into like the Photoshop world stuff, and I just ended up emailing Scott Kelby one day, and he was like, yeah, try this and try that, and if you need any more tips, just let me know. And I would just email him, and then one day he just sent me like a download code for some of his books, and it was like, here, this should help. It's like, wow.
Awesome.
Like, okay, that helps.
Yeah.
So it doesn't hurt to ask.
Exactly. Last year I had Brian DeMent on the show, and in that episode I sounded like a complete stalker because he didn't he didn't remember emailing me or anything. But it was the same type of deal. I just, I had some questions. I emailed him. He answered me, and he even sent me some of his files to like help me out. And I think that's great. And it shows people that if you have questions, just ask. Yeah. Like, you need to learn something, just, ask somebody, read a book, figure it out somewhere. The answers are out there.
Right.
So I think that's great that you had that drive to learn about it. So when we were talking about cell phone pictures, we were talking about you doing editorial work. Is that what you classify yourself as, or do you classify yourself as any kind of photographer, like journalistic, or did you start out with nature photography?
You know what? It was, I started off just shooting anything that I saw that I felt like would make a good photo. And then I kind of got roped into shooting models and stuff like that. But I never classified myself because I felt like I could shoot any type of photography.
Right.
And so in classifying yourself, to me, limits you as far as what you were going to pursue or learn as far as photography goes. And I think photography is an art form, so you can learn in all parts of an art form.
Right.
You don't have to specialize in it, but you can learn it all and you can do it all. And that's kind of how I felt about photography.
Right. So, working with models, what does your wife think about that? She bothered, but no.
She's fine with it. Like, she's okay with it. She jokes sometimes, but she knows that it's what I do.
Yeah.
So she doesn't sweat it or anything like that. It's all fun and games.
Well, it takes. I
mean, she'll even point people out like, she's cute. I was like, okay.
That's getting a little on the weird side. No. Yeah. Okay, so right now you're a lab tech at Humble Camera Center, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So how long have you worked for Humble Camera, and tell us what exactly a lab tech does?
I've been at Humble Camera for 5 years now. And what a lab tech basically does is I'm the one that when you bring me your pictures, I'm the one that goes through them frame by frame, make sure they're color corrected, make sure no heads are cut off, make sure you get the best image possible.
Right.
We work with a lot of local photographers as far as color correcting because everybody shoots a different way. Mm-hmm. And being a photographer, I know that. So I work with local photographers, and they'll come in and say, well, this is what I shot, no edits, no anything. Let me see what it looks like when it comes out the machine. And we just kind of work that way so we know your color profile, how you shoot, stuff like that. And really, the more you come in, I'm normally pretty good about remembering how people shoot. So when they come in, I kind of know their style and just go from there.
Yeah. I think that's awesome because, I've calibrated my monitors and things like that to my lab, but you do all the calibrating for everybody else. They don't have to, calibrate to you. You're calibrating to them.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it would be easier that way. Instead of them having to go home and try to calibrate and 9 or 10 trips back and forth.
Yeah.
So just, normally I just tell people if they're looking to do that, just bring me a shot with no edits and let me see what it looks like when it's printed and then go from there. And I think it also helps that I'm a photographer too because I know color, I know color theory, I know, what's a good shot. I kind of know what you were going for. So it helps a little bit.
And I think people need to understand that, calibration and color stuff make a huge difference. And when people ask me for digital images, my only thought is, please don't take this to Walgreens or CVS or something. Just don't do that. Whatever you do, don't do that.
We get that a lot. It's like, my photographer took these, and I took them to Walgreens, and I wasn't happy with them. Let me see what you can do. It's like, you should have came in first.
Yeah.
But, okay.
Yeah. And that's one reason for the longest time I was really reluctant to give digitals, because I just did not want them, taking them to Walmart or something.
Well, what we get with a lot of photographers that come to our shop is, when they take photos, they'll actually recommend that people go to either us or a professional lab.
Yeah.
And they specifically tell them, don't go to Walgreens, don't go to Walmart, don't go to Target.
Yeah.
Go to a for real lab who know color, and you'll get the best images possible. But they don't always listen.
Yeah. For sure, I get that.
And then I have to fix the mistakes.
I get that. Yeah. Well, I think that's great that you can really get people perfect on their, prints. And because to me, a digital image, you can kind of see how good it's going to be, but a print is just so much more. And so my husband gets tired of it, because I'll get a print in and show it to him. He's like, I've already seen that picture. I'm like, no, you haven't seen the print.
Yeah, right.
You saw the digital image. You have not seen the print.
Yeah, a lot of people say, you hear people say film is dying, or photography is an art that's dying because of the cell phone. It's not actually the art, the photography. It's the printing that's dying.
Yeah.
And I still got a lot of people that come in and still just get prints, and they specifically get prints. And then you have people who every now and then get something printed and go, "Oh my, this is awesome!
Yeah,
look at this print. I should get something else printed." And then now you're printing pictures of your cat, and you're like, okay.
Well, to me, I also encourage people to do albums and things like that, because, we have albums that our grandparents passed down and stuff, and our children aren't going to have any of that. Once our cell phone dies or our hard drive crashes, they're not going to have anything.
and I teach photography sometimes too, and one of the things I tell somebody when they say that they're just starting out is I always tell them, keep a shoot journal. And, back in film days, you kept a journal of as far as what you shot this aperture at and this, that, and the other. Right. But I tell them to go one step further, and it's print their work out. Print out, one shot from each shoot that you do. Write in something about it. That way you can gauge your work and see how you're growing. I used to do it. I don't do it as much as I should, but I did it, and you grow.
Yeah, and when I was learning, we printed contact sheets of everything.
Yes.
So that's what you need. You got to have your contact sheet and, make your notes and things like that.
Yeah, and contact sheets aren't sheets for your contacts. They are sheets. They were like they're thumbnails on paper.
Yeah, of your negatives, which came from film.
Yeah, you had to have a wax pencil and circle the one that you didn't like.
Yeah.
But the art form is moving, and we still get a lot of people who print. But now it's kind of like, I want the instant printer. I want this printer. Or Instagram has this service where you can get all your Instagram pictures printed, but it's not the same.
No, it's not. So other than printing, what other services and products do y'all do at Elmo Camera?
The owner, Jim, always tells people we do everything except teach. And I always say that sometimes we even do that. But we do custom framing. We do custom printing, as we were talking about a few minutes ago. Brad does the camera repair, camera diagnosis, camera everything, basically. What else do we do? We do have new and used sales, printing. Oh, and we run film. We're still the, as far as I know and have been told, we are the only lab in Houston that still does their film in-house. We don't send it out anywhere. And as far as I know, I've been told that by a few people, like, everybody else sends it out, but we still do that.
That's awesome. Okay, I've got a question for you. So, I have these random thoughts.
Okay.
I came across an old camera bag maybe a couple months ago.
Okay.
And it was full of film that I never used. Completely full. And so in my mind, I'm like, okay, that film's bad. It needs to be thrown away. But I can't make myself throw it away because I'm like looking at it thinking how much money I spent on all this film. So would you risk it and just run through them and then see what comes out?
Yes.
And it might be like a funky, like warped picture, but it still might be cool.
Normally what I find is you get more weird colors than anything. But I would say use it. I had a lady 2 years ago she walked in and goes, "You shoot film?" I said, "Yes, ma'am, I do." And she goes, "You want some film?" I said, "Sure." And she comes in with a box of 350 rolls of film.
Wow.
And she goes, "Here you go." And I'm like, "Okay, what am I supposed to do with all? Okay." And so all of it expired back in 95, 96. But I mean, I shoot it. Some of it comes out underexposed. Some of it, but majority of the time, I get great shots out of them.
Yeah, I even have like infrared and some like different specialty films in there.
Oh, you're serious? Yeah, you got infrared film.
Okay, I'm going to shoot it, and we'll see what comes out. Maybe I'll bring it to you to help me print it.
But that's the fun of it. Like, you're shooting it and seeing, oh, wow, okay, that came out. Oh, that didn't come out. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, stay with us. I've got a lot more questions for you after the break. You're listening to Aperture and Shutter Speed.
It's a wonder.
Did you know there are more than 790 abused and neglected children currently in foster care in Montgomery County? Will you help make a difference? I'm Allie Stevens with Casa Child Advocates of Montgomery County. We train and support volunteers to be the voice of children in the foster care system. Kids removed from their home because of abuse and neglect. And we need volunteers just like you to advocate for these children. To learn more about becoming an advocate, please visit CasaSpeaksForKids.com. That's CasaSpeaksForKids.com.
Lone Star Internet Radio is now bringing you the weekly business hour show each Monday morning at 11 a.m. My name is Rick Schissler, and I will be your host. Each week we will be bringing you local, area, and national business news that you can use. The program will also feature an interview with a local or national business person who will share their own experiences, successes, and failures in operating their businesses. Our show is for anyone who already owns a business, whether they work solo or have employees, and for those who are thinking about starting their own businesses. A bit of information about myself. Again, my name is Rick Schissler, and I am a Silver Fox advisor who has over 40 years' experience as a serial entrepreneur. As a part of our show, I will offer some advice and encouragement on our monthly topic, and I will take your questions by email at rschissler@silverfox.org or call into the station at 936-647-3776. See you on the radio Monday at 11 a.m. for the weekly business hour.
At Jazzy Junk, volunteers reclaim, restore, and recycle. Jazzy Junk is a non-profit resale storefront where you will discover wonderful, unique finds at very affordable prices on furniture, antiques, books, art, home decor, and more. When you shop Jazzy Junk, you support New Danville, a community for adults with developmental disabilities. We receive new donations daily, so plan a visit to Jazzy Junk today to find that perfect item or gift. Our motto is here today, gone today. So remember to hurry in and shop often for the best selection. Jazzy Junk is located in the outlets at Conroe on League Line Road and I-45 North. Call 936-441-4500 or visit our website, jazzyjunk.org. That's JUNQUE for more information and store hours.
Welcome back to Aperture and Shutter Speed. This is the photography radio show, if you didn't know that. If you would like to ask us any questions, you can call in 936-647-3776, and you can find us on irlonestar.com. So, I've been talking to Doug Sweet from Humble Camera Center, and he was telling us about his job at Humble Camera and how he makes prints look amazing and everything else they do there. I also saw on y'all's website that you rent out equipment. So can you give us an example of when some photographers might need to rent equipment and how they would go about getting it?
What we rent is camera lenses, camera flashes, and camera bodies. So it's not like all equipment, but eventually we'll get there. But one of the main reasons that people rent equipment is because they want to use something that they can't afford, or they want to try something out. One of the best examples is we have people who come in just during football season and rent 70 to 200s. Well, if you're only going to use it for a few weeks, there's no sense of paying $2,600 for a lens. And so having an option to rent is a lot cheaper and a lot better, because that's a lens you're only going to use until your kids are out of school.
Right.
As far as going about renting it, we're pretty laid back. If you give us a call to see if it's there, We'll put you in the book, reserve it. You bring your credit card, your driver's license. We fill out a little paperwork, and you pay, and you're out the door. And we have, set time frames or whatever. But for the most part, we're pretty laid back, and, we don't ask for a Social Security number or blood sample or anything like that. But just credit card, driver's license, and good to go.
Well, I don't know how comfortable y'all would be with somebody leaving the country, but I'm going to Kenya in October, and I would really like to have some cool lenses, so maybe I'll come check it out.
We actually have a few people that do that.
Yeah?
Yeah. We just make it mandatory you get the insurance.
Yes.
But, yeah, we have a few customers who do that on a regular basis. Come in, rent a few lenses, go out of the country, come back. No problems.
Okay, I'm for sure doing that now. Because I really want some, awesome lenses, and I can't really justify buying them when I'm not going to use them all the time.
Right, exactly.
But I really want something awesome for my Kenya trip, so I'm definitely doing that. Okay, so I like the fact that y'all are a local store, and honestly, I didn't know for the longest time that y'all were even there, and that you've been there for so long. So tell everybody, what's the main benefit of coming to a local camera shop?
Well, the main benefit is, that store's been there 20 years. Between myself, Jim, Brad, and John, there's decades of camera experience, camera knowledge. If it's something I don't know, I can go ask Brad. And if he doesn't know, which is so very rare, we can go ask Jim, and hopefully he can remember. But the main benefit is, like we were talking about earlier, people going to Best Buy looking to ask questions and purchase something. And like we said earlier, the guy selling cameras a day at Best Buy was probably selling refrigerators yesterday. Right. So, you come in, you get the knowledge that we have, and not just the camera. We have so many people come in who want one thing because they saw someone else with it, but they have no idea what it's for, right, or why they would need it. And a lot of times we spend a lot of our time correcting people as far as what they need. So, I mean, you get the customer service, you get the chance to sit down and talk to not sit down, but you get the chance to talk to somebody who knows cameras. Yeah. And that's all we do is cameras and camera repair. And, why is my camera doing this? Because of this. Or if I don't know, if you're ever in the store for any length of time, you hear Brad's name a lot. Yeah. So.
And also, people might try to ask an online vendor stuff, but through email, that's really hard to get these personal questions answered. And if you can have it in front of you and somebody look at your camera or look at something right in front of you, I think that helps a lot to be hands-on. Yeah. We get a lot. One of the number one problems we get a lot of is people come in and go, well, I'm taking my pictures and they're coming out crisp, but they're blurry when I look through the camera. So you just change that little diopter for them, and then they go, well, that was it? Yeah, well, the guy at Best Buy told me I needed to do this or do that. And I'm not picking on Best Buy. I really am not. But, the guy at the box store told me to do this, do that, and do this, and none of that worked. Well, it was just this. Oh, okay, well, that was simple. Easy. Easy fix. Come here first.
Yeah. Yes, come to us first.
So like I said before, I got your information from Allison.
Hi, Allison.
Who last year was the president of the Woodlands Photography Club. Mm-hmm. And so are you involved with that club or any other clubs in the area?
I am not formally involved with any clubs. The way I got into the Woodlands Photography Club and the Woodlands Camera Club is being invited to speak. I taught one session for portraiture, and then the other time was a kind of a question and answer session. Mm-hmm. So I kind of know them through that. But as far as being a part of any clubs, I don't have time.
Well, I don't understand that at all.
I mean, between, shooting and then being an humble camera, basically anywhere from 5 to 6 days a week, I don't have time for clubs.
See, my problem is so many times I've wanted to go to the Woodlands Camera Club meetings, and they're from 7 to 9 on Monday or something. And 7 is my son's bedtime. Right. And so that's really hard for me to work out. So I get that time restraint thing.
Right.
But I think it is a great group of people, and they offer some really interesting things.
I think as far as for me, because of time constraints, clubs aren't really the thing for me. Mm-hmm. But what I have enjoyed is like the Insta meets, and like like Scott Kelby's photo walk, mm-hmm. stuff like that, where you have a set time and then everybody kind of get together. Those Insta meets that you find on Instagram are amazing. I mean, you meet some of the best people as far as photography goes, mm-hmm. and then you're like, wait, you're local? Yeah, I live right around the corner from you. Like, oh, really? And hey, well, what about this or what about that? And you can pick each other's brains, and it's not formal. I'm not saying that any of the clubs are. It's just right. It's just for somebody who doesn't have the time to go to a scheduled meeting every first month or whatever. Those Insta meets are kind of where it's at. I mean, and then you can even start your own. So that's what makes it pretty awesome too.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Okay, I posted a link to our Facebook page to your website. So okay. Do you want to give everybody your website, your personal website, so that they can look at it, and then you can tell us about yourself a little bit more?
Okay. My personal website is edwardsweetphotography.com. And majority of the time I try to update it like I'm supposed to, but it doesn't always happen. But my Instagram is Edward Sweet as well, and I also have an Instagram as Optical Journalist. That's kind of for my street photography, my cell phone stuff. Mm-hmm. But I'm really on there a lot. So 9 times out of 10, if you need to get in touch with me, email or that would be the best place to do it. And that's about it.
Okay. So if you missed that, you could just go to our Facebook page.
Yeah, you can go to their Facebook page as well. Go there first.
So, you talked about the fact that you were kind of self-taught, and you email people, message people. If you had to pick out one thing that was like the main thing that you think really helped to get you to learn photography, any tips or anything you would give somebody?
I guess the number one thing that really pushed me to continue to learn photography would, in all honesty, probably be Ted Forbes, because of his encouragement when I was starting to learn, and he was like, hey, just keep shooting, mm-hmm. And that's the thing I tell everybody: just keep shooting. Right. That's the biggest tip I can give anybody is pick up a camera, whether it's your cell phone or your actual camera, and just keep shooting. That's the way you learn. That's the way you develop your eye. That's the way you can walk outside and say, well, I should shoot this at a F-14 or this, that, and the other.
Right.
Just keep shooting.
The other day at my house, one of my kids pulled out an old sample book that I had printed like 10 years ago of a wedding that was shot in a school gymnasium. And I told my husband, I said, I can't make myself throw it away. Like, this is not something I would ever show anybody.
But that's your history.
Yeah, it's not something I'd ever show anybody. It's not something I'd go, this is a great example of a book.
Yeah, right.
But I can't make myself throw it away. And yeah, my husband kind of said the same thing of, like, it shows you where you've come from.
Yeah, it's your process.
Yeah. And so, to look at a book that I did like that, and to look at like the albums I do now for weddings is like night and day difference. But I think it is good for people to keep that stuff and to kind of, you can kind of see your progress.
I guess one thing, if I could tell anybody anything, is shoot for you. Don't shoot for likes. Don't shoot for this, that, and the other. Shoot for you, what you like, what you want. I tell people all the time, I may not be technically correct all the time, but I always shoot for the emotion. I love the emotion in the photos. Gordon Parks, your Helmut Newtons, your Henry Benson Carters, they weren't always technically right in their photos, because you look at the photo and say, wow, that was blurry, but the emotion behind it was what was captured.
Yeah.
That's what makes it a great photo. So shoot for you, shoot what you like, and have fun with it. That's what it is. It's fun. It's photography.
I think that's a good point. It should be fun. Should be something you enjoy. We're going to take one more break. Okay. And then we'll come back, and I've got kind of like a fun announcement and thing. So stick with us on Aperture and Shutter Speed.
I love to take a photo. The Conroe YMCA's benchmark adaptive programming for kids and adults is Leap of Faith. Leap of Faith is an equine-assisted therapy program serving children and adults with adaptive needs. The riders in our Leap of Faith program are working to address and manage specific aspects of their lives impacted by illness, injury, or disability. The Leap of Faith program has experience working with riders who are living with attention deficit or other hyperactivity disorders, hearing impairments, visual impairments, developmental delays or disabilities, autism, Down syndrome, multiple sclerosis, muscular dystrophy, head traumas, brain injuries, and paralysis. Our program uses horseback riding to develop self-confidence and self-esteem, to increase upper and lower body strength, assist in respiratory issues, and establish a trusting relationship between the rider and their horse. Not only do these activities aid in the physical and mental development of the rider, but they also foster self-reliance and independence. For more information regarding our program, to become a rider, or to volunteer with a great group of people, please call our Welcome Center at 936-441-9622 or visit our website at www.ymcahouston.org/Conroe.
Tune in to Chamber Chat with your host, Courtney Galley and Samantha Good, with the Conroe Lake Conroe Chamber of Commerce every first Tuesday of the month at 11 a.m. I'm one of your hosts, Courtney Galley. Samantha and I will chat about the Conroe Chamber's upcoming events and programs for the month. Relax with a cup of joe or your favorite drink for Chamber Chat. Heaven's Army of Resources and Recreation Center is a 501c3 nonprofit organization featuring a 10,000 square foot building located at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas. At Heaven's Army, we offer over 26 different services free for all ages, from karate, dance, drug and alcohol classes, anger management, parenting, food and clothing pantries, to just name a few. We are supported solely by volunteers and private donations. Our main mission is to glorify God in all that we do. At Heaven's Army, we strive to be a hand up, not a handout. Come check us out at 19325 FM 1485 West, New Caney, Texas, or call for more information at 281-689-5864. You may also learn more about Heaven's Army by visiting our website at heavensarmyofresources.com.
Doing business since 1985, Assistance League of Montgomery County is a nonprofit, all-volunteer organization where all proceeds stay in Montgomery County. We are proud to sponsor 10 philanthropic programs that enhance the lives of those in our community. Visit our thrift shop at 126 North San Jacinto Street in downtown Conroe or call us at 936-760-1151. Don't forget to like us on Facebook.
If you took all the girls I knew.
Welcome back to Aperture and Shutter Speed. We're here talking photography. I've been talking with Doug Sweet from Humble Camera Center. He's told us all about Humble Camera and about his personal photography. And now, Humble Camera Center is going to do something awesome for our listeners. They're going to give away an 11 by 14 print. So anybody that's listening, if you have a picture that you're like, oh, I really want a wall portrait of this, or I just want to see how awesome it looks big, here's how you can win an 11 by 14 print. Go to the Aperture and Shutter Speed Facebook page and give us a like. Go to the Humble Camera Center Facebook page, give them a like, and then comment on our page that I want to win. That's what you do. It's that easy. It takes like 5 seconds, literally. Just comment, I want to win. Make sure you like both of our pages. And if you wanted to be extra nice and maybe get a few extra entries, you can share our pages too. It's that easy. It's that easy. So, for anybody that's got like, digital images that you're like, I've been listening to the show, maybe I should print out some few things. And you can check out how awesome Doug is at his skills of color correcting. And this would be a great way to do it and give them a try. Not only that, but I kind of like the idea of giving stuff away, like, a lot. It's fun. And I'm really excited about the fact that our station's in the process of going FM soon. So I think I'm going to give something cool away every show until we go FM.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you think about that? He's not even... that's my plan. So I'm going to keep giving stuff away, and hopefully we'll get more listeners, and every week it'll be more exciting. So for now, you can go to our Facebook page, and I'm kind of bummed. Actually, like, the problem with giveaways is I'm really bummed I can't win these giveaways.
Right.
I would like a free 11x14. That would be awesome. So anyway, I'll keep myself out of it.
Right.
I can't win. Dick Schissler can't win. Anyway, so while you're here, before we go, can I ask you one other question?
Sure.
Since you've had some great cell phone tips.
Sure.
It's a completely random thought.
Okay.
But when I set up my email address, like, a million years ago on Yahoo, I guess I put a ridiculous, what I thought was artsy picture of myself on there, and now I didn't realize it till recently when I was standing next to somebody and they pulled up my contact. That picture's showing up in people's contacts. How do I get that off? Like, I've gone through my settings and I can't figure out how to remove that picture. Do you have any idea?
The only way I was able to remove mine was to delete the Yahoo page.
Oh, no. I cannot figure it out. Okay, if anybody's listening that can help me remove this hideous picture from my Yahoo profile, comment, let me know. I need it removed.
I had to delete my Yahoo page, and I mean, I went Gmail anyway after all the hacking and stuff with Yahoo, but that was the only way I could get that picture off of there, because I had one too. I was like, oh, that's a great picture. It's not so good.
No, I've had Chelsea Williams photos at Yahoo for like 10 years now, and I don't want to switch my email, but oh, good Lord, I can't, like, I was mortified when I was standing next to somebody and they, like, it popped up in their phone with that picture of me. It was just terrible. I couldn't get it off. Yeah, so anybody has the answer to that, you can answer that question on our Facebook page. I'm really eager to know that. Any other tips you can give me? You seem to be up with the tips.
For cell phone pictures, don't be afraid to experiment with the apps. Some of them are really good. Some of them aren't. I can give you a list of apps that are amazing. Okay. And
right now, give us a list.
Okay, give you a list. Camera Plus, Hipstamatic, Darkroom is really good. Snapseed is always a go-to. I don't think I've ever deleted Snapseed. Polarmatic is really good. It's based on the Polaroid film. Mm-hmm. So when you take the photo, it actually makes the sound, and then you watch the film develop, and you can pick which film you want and all of that. It's fun. Another good tip is I bought a bracket for my phone where I can sit on my tripod, so when I'm doing slow shutter speed, and you can actually use the headphones as a shutter release.
Really?
Yeah, when you plug it in the bottom, if you hit the volume button, that turns into a shutter release.
Okay, all right. This is like a whole new world of cell phone photography for me.
Yeah,
I gotta get caught up.
Yeah, it's a blast. I mean,
you may need to teach a workshop on cell phone photography. I'll be there taking notes.
What else is there? I love Vesco just because of the community, and Instagram. The community on that is just huge.
Okay, how do you feel about? I know you like filters. I've never been a big Instagram person because it seems like everybody just filters everything.
I'm not as big in filters. I like the community more than the filters. Every now and because actually majority, like on my work page, most of the pictures is on my work page are stuff that I've edited in Photoshop. Mm-hmm. So I've cleaned it up and stuff like that. As far as like my cell phone one, I've just gone through and edited it. Very rarely do I actually use a filter. And I feel like if you use a filter should just be a starting point. Yeah. Like, okay, this is what I kind of want to look, but let me tweak this and add this and take away some contrast, and I don't like this. I mean, if I use a filter, you probably won't realize I use a filter because I've mangled it so much.
Yes. That's what I think is good if you use a filter and you can't really tell. When it's just like the all over, I'm trying to be vintage, not... I know you like vintage stuff, but that's not the same thing as these people that are just throwing like brown colors over it.
Right. Why does that banana have to be on,
Yeah. I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to download some of these apps on my phone, and I think I have an Instagram account. I just have never done anything with it. So maybe I'll get on there and start posting. Maybe a few people will follow me. I don't know.
I'll follow you. It's a blast.
All right.
It's a blast.
And then maybe on the next show I can talk about what I learned. Okay. Also on the next show, we are going to have Ellen Taylor. She's a local photographer, and she's also a board member with the Woodlands Photography Club, so she can give us some updates on what's going on. I know they had a change of presidents, and they've got some classes and workshops coming up, so Ellen's going to be able to fill us in on all of that. And so be sure to mark your calendars, March 22nd, 12 o'clock, here on irlonestar.com. We are currently on the second, fourth Tuesday of every month at 12 o'clock. So be there for that on Ellen Taylor. And thank you, Doug, for being here.
No
I'm
problem.
glad you took time out.
Thank you for having me.
And don't forget to enter the contest on Facebook to win the free 11x14 giveaway. Like our page, like Humble Camera Center, and comment that you want to win the 11x14. So until March 22nd, this is Aperture and Shutter Speed, and keep on shooting.
Keep shooting.
Just